This is a grossing tutorial video on how to process a lipoma. We have an encapsulated portion of fat here in front of us. We are first going to take 3 dimensions of the fatty tumor. So 11 by 9.0 by 4.5 cm. We now need to evaluate the external contour of the specimen. It's encapsulated, it's lobulated. Are there any areas of attached skeletal muscle, fascia, skin, nerve, or vessel? In this area here, along here, and over here are possible areas of attached skeletal muscle. I'm going to ink these areas of attached possible skeletal muscle differentially from the remainder of the specimen. So let's go ahead and start inking the specimen here. Like I said, we're going to ink the areas of possible attached skeletal muscle blue, and then the remainder of the specimen black. And the reason we want to do that is because we want to concentrate our sections from the areas of attached skeletal muscle. Those will be the most likely areas for invasion histologically. So I applied the blue ink to those areas, and I applied the mordant or the vinegar. And now I'm just going to continue inking the remainder of the specimen black, and then we'll come back and begin sectioning it. Now that we've inked the fatty tumor, we're going to section it. What I like to do is section thick and then thin, thick and then thin. And I do this throughout the specimen because it makes it easier in the end to take your sections instead of having to take a thick slice and making it thinner. So once again, you're going to section it at 1 centimeter intervals, but then I usually take a couple thin sections throughout the specimen in order to make the sampling a lot easier. So as I'm sectioning the specimen, I'm looking for areas of necrosis, areas of discoloration, or areas of fibrosis. And as you see, as I'm sectioning through the specimen, it looks like mature adipose tissue with no areas of necrosis, hemorrhage, or discoloration. And so what I'll do next is I'm going to concentrate my sampling on the areas that are inked blue. And as you recall, the areas that are inked blue are the areas of the external surface of the fatty tumor which possibly contain skeletal muscle or fascia. It's a very homogeneous, yellow, lobulated, unremarkable mature adipose tissue. This is a closer view of the fatty tumor. And if you look in this area here, we've got some blue ink and adjacent black ink. We're going to want to concentrate our sections in the areas that are inked blue because, once again, these are areas of possible attached skeletal muscle and the most likely area of invasion microscopically. So if you go over to this section here, This is an area where I made a thin slice as opposed to a more thicker slice here. And it looks like this piece of a tissue, which was actually on the external surface that I inked blue, kind of fell off. So there's a very good likelihood that this is a possible skeletal muscle here. So I'm going to make sure and sample that area right there. So once again, concentrate your sections and the areas of blue ink for this particular specimen. Thank you for watching. Here are our blocks containing the tissue samples from the lipoma. The lipoma had a grace dimension of 11 cm, so I went ahead and rounded it off to 12 cm, and I submitted 12 sections with 2 sections per cassette. In each cassette, you'll notice there's a section with ink and a section with no ink. The sections containing ink are from the areas of possible attached skeletal muscle. These are the areas of interest because if there's going to be invasion, the most likely areas of invasion are going to be on the external surface of the lipoma in the areas of attached skeletal muscle. So I put one section of the external surface in each cassette, and then I took a section from the center of the specimen for the remainder of these sections. I'm going to put all these blocks in acetone with the exception of one block, and I'll make that note in my cassette designation. The block that is not submitted in acetone and will be submitted in formalin may be used later for ancillary studies such as fish. Thank you.